Hello everyone and happy Halloween! This video is going up on October 31st, I believe. Um, Now, a little while ago, me and Erin from Rath's Queen and Ryan from Ryan Reads Books, we decided to get together and do a little read-along, a little like buddy read events. We started with The Rain by Virginia Bergin, which went really well, um, and then we decided to move on to this read, which I'm about to show you. Um, this was our Halloween buddy read pick, um, and we chose Splintered by A.G. Howard, which has a beautiful cover, um, and the chapter design is beautiful, and even here on the inside is beautiful as well. Yeah, so this was our Halloween buddy read, and I like doing buddy reads with those two because they're not strict or confined. You know, we just choose a book a month and say, right, read it within the month, and then we all agree on a day to upload our reviews when we record them, and that's that. We talk by email along the way and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, there's no restrictions. It's not read 100 pages in the first 2 days or whatever. So yeah, that's what I really like about doing buddy reads with Erin and Ryan. So what I'll do is I'll leave their links to their channels below in the description, so you can go check them out, because A, they're fantastic booktubers, and B, we're all uploading our reviews today for this book. So Splintered follows Alyssa Gardner, who is a direct descendant of Alice Liddell, who is the real-life inspiration behind Lewis Carroll's classic children's novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. The Liddells have a curse upon their family. They hear voices and like creatures and plants trying to talk to them, and they think they're crazy. Alyssa's mother? I can't remember. Trying to remember. Her mother. Yes, it is her mother. I don't know why I didn't remember that. But yeah, her mother has been locked up for this in an asylum called Souls Asylum. But her mother's little weird noises and stuff, they go much deeper. Like, her mother has said that she's been to Wonderland and she's met Queen Red and everybody else. So she's actually locked up in an insane asylum. And one day, Alyssa goes to visit her mother in this asylum and just blurts it out, confides in her that she also hears these voices and stuff. And her mother says, you know, the Liddells have a family curse, and this is the curse, and you need to find the entrance to Wonderland, and you need to save us and save the family and save everyone. And yeah, so Alyssa gets the chance to go to Wonderland. I won't go too much into detail if you haven't read the book. But yeah, she goes into Wonderland, and unwillingly her secret crush slash embarrassing crush, Jeb, gets pulled into Wonderland too. There, it's not his intention to be there. It's not her intention for him to be there, but you find out why he's there when you read the book. Yeah, and they meet this guy called Morpheus, who is like a moth-type human creature. He has big, massive wings, and he tells Alyssa that the only way that they can get back to the real world and save Wonderland is if Alyssa fixes the wrongs, rights the wrongs of her past descendant, Alice Liddell. So, that is the basis of the story. Alyssa, along with the help of Jeb, travels through a very dark and twisted, Netherling, overrun Wonderland. Like I just mentioned, yeah, bit tongue-tied. Like I just mentioned, Wonderland is run by, you know, like these Netherling creatures and weird, grotesque creatures, and yeah, it's very creepy. It's very creepy. Yes, I have problems with this book. I did, and I still do. I'm recording this review like 2 weeks after I finished this, or maybe a week. Can't remember. But I'm recording this review a while after I finished it, and my feelings haven't changed. Um, so the first issue I have, it took around 150 pages to really get into the story. You know when you're reading a book and you get like 50 pages in and then something clicks and that's it, you just speed through the rest of it and read it like nobody's business. Um, that didn't happen with me till maybe the 160, 170 page mark, and even then it got to a point where it slowed down a bit again and I was trying to pick up the motivation to keep going. I read a book recently which was like 300 pages and that took me like 2 days to read. This took me like 11 or 12 days to read. That's how slow and quite boring it was, really. I mean, for me, there's no sustenance to the story. I mean, when we enter, or when Alyssa and Jeb enter Wonderland, that's when it gets more interesting. But even then, like I said, the pace slows down. There are really good chapters where we're introduced to some really weird characters and creatures and Neverlings, and these tasks that Alyssa must complete in order to get back to the real world. So yeah, that's kind of, the pacing was off for me. I didn't really enjoy the pacing. And I also couldn't connect to Alyssa, really. I mean, she was a good character. I didn't love her. I didn't dislike her. She was a good character, but I just didn't really connect. I thought she was a bit. I don't know. I just thought she's not like a proper kick-ass protagonist, in my opinion. She was a bit stupid, dare I say it. I didn't really like Jeb. I mean, he was more of Alyssa's sidekick than her lover. There's supposed to be a love triangle between Alyssa, Jeb, and Morpheus, but there really wasn't for me. Jeb was kind of the sidekick rather than lover, with a bit of flirting on the side, and that for me didn't really work. And also Morpheus, I didn't understand him. I mean, that's probably partly his character, but I just couldn't. I couldn't connect to him. I couldn't understand him, and I felt like he was a very detached character. It kind of felt like he did need to be there for the story to exist, but he didn't need to be there all the time. It's difficult to explain without giving away spoilers, but if you've read this book, you'll understand. If that's if you agree with me. But yeah, I didn't really connect to either of the three main characters, and I felt the story was lacking. Also, the another problem I have is the chapter length. I'll show you. This is chapter 12, which starts on page 204, and then chapter 12 ends on page 223. Yeah, so literally 21 pages for a chapter. I don't like long chapters, and I certainly didn't like the long chapters in this book. I really didn't. It didn't help me connect with the characters. It didn't help me get invested in the story. I think short chapters are much better. There were times when I was reading this, I could, I was thinking in my head, well, this is a perfectly adequate end to a chapter, but then it would just carry on. Or I was thinking, oh, you could stop the chapter here and carry it on here, but that didn't happen either. The page count for the chapters was way too long, which is one reason I didn't like this book. I only gave it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. That hasn't changed. There are 2 other books in the trilogy. I don't think I'll be picking them up because I don't think they'll add anything to the story. I don't think they'll change my perception on the story, and to be fair, I'm not really that invested in the characters. So a lackluster attempt at projecting horror into a classic children's tale. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I didn't love it. That's my opinion. So, that is my review of Splintered by A.G. Howard. Like I mentioned, I will leave Wrath's Queen and Ryan Reed's books channel links below in the description bar. I also posted a review of this on Toastpop, where I am a regular reviewer. I'll leave that link below as well. And yeah, that is that. If you've read this book, let me know what you thought of it. I don't know. I didn't like it, but it doesn't mean you won't. But it doesn't mean you will. I mean, you know, you might love this book, and you might like it for reasons that I never thought of. But yeah, so that was my video. Please like this video if you like it, and if you haven't already, you may subscribe. And I will see you again soon. Goodbye for now. My camera is not turning off. I don't know what's going on. And now I've gone down. It's still not turning off. What is going on?